Move. I need this spot to tell everyone good night. Thank you so much. I guess I didn't promise you too much when I say this is one of the sessions that's really closest to our hearts. And we're going to be glad to have all of you, Young Global Changers, not only the awardees, but everyone who is part of that program around tonight and also tomorrow during day 2 of the Global Solutions Summit. Now, I don't know about you, but my feet hurt and my mind is really blurry by now. There was so much going on, but I promised you when I stood here this morning in the same shoes, I promised you that we would do everything we can to systematize and to really tidy up these thoughts and tie open ends together. And one person Tabea then introduced to you was Robin Hotz. He's back here, and I'm going to have you come up on stage and share some of your views and thoughts. Maybe we can have a look at your work from today.
Yeah, thanks. So I've been sitting back here next to the screen and really listening attentively to everything that happened in this room and the things that we talked about, and tried to capture it in a series of images that you now see on the screens up there. And yeah, maybe to start with, I listen on different levels. And of course, I also listen on a meta level, seeing, okay, how do all of these stories interconnect? And this is quite emotional and quite, let's say, abstract. Something that I'm really taking away from today is, first of all, the colors. So I think it's really special that this event is so colorful. You see them all around, and normally events have like a really linear kind of like color design, but here we have all the colors.
The dark blue suit color design.
No, really like the red, the orange, the blue, the green. Like it really speaks for the variety of cultures, of approaches that we have here, and you see them represented in the image as well. That we really have different qualities in here.
So maybe if you zoom in to one of these images, can you show us an example or two of how you would, in your feather, I can't even say in your mind, but in your artistic work, how would you summarize one session or one moment?
Of course, yeah. Let's zoom in a little bit to the first image. Being here in red, I think already like the color red described quite good what we talked about this morning, which was like, it's urgent. We are living in crisis. It's time to buckle up. That's something I took away from the first session.
That was Johan Rockström this morning.
And we really talked about why we are here, and the image of the iceberg stood out for me. So really looking deeper into the systemic roots of the crises, but also into the paradigm and the phrase, we need a kind of new worldview, going from a more individual kind of perspective into a more interconnected perspective, was something that I took out from this morning, for example.
So you'll have to know that we tied Robin pretty much to that table there, and then it's only the solution forum that he could have followed. And in the solution dialogues and deep dives, we totally trust on your drawings and that you're going to pass them on later on. But maybe if you want to send us into tonight or tomorrow, you can choose. You can either point out, like, do a symbolical circle around one or two images, or you can say, and right tomorrow morning I'm going to start to draw this one. Which question do you want to answer?
I think I take the first one.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe pointing out a few images that I drew. So maybe going back to the iceberg, I really like the phrase of planetary stewardship and kind of like the image of us like steering that ship hopefully around the iceberg, right? And the leadership and the stewardship that requires. And I've seen that in many different sessions. So maybe going on to the next image, especially when we talked about business and biodiversity, there was a lot of talk about the potential of really becoming a leading force and embracing integral impact. So yeah, maybe another image is the flower, but also the roots, like going to the roots of what is needed today. And one last image, maybe? Yeah. Just to show them all, is just the closing session that we just had, which is about AI and the digital transformation. And here we really talk more technical, and you also see it in the image, how it becomes more clear. So something you could take away from here is actually my favorite image, which is that, which is an eye kind of seeing the interconnectedness of the system. And I think that's really what we're practicing here is systems thinking and seeing how different perspectives merge together. Yeah.
I'm going to say thank you at that point, because if you show more, it's going to start to get blurry again. I hope that's something that you can all relate to, and we're going to also display your work as of tomorrow when we have had time to print a little bit of it on the Wandelgang, so you can double check. Oh, it's already there, Tabria says. So please follow your work. I also had the feeling that you are not too reluctant to people just walking up to your desk. We can just visit you and ask you questions, also suggest to be drawn yourself and stuff. I'm going to say thank you at that point, Robin. And I'm going to also say, go off stage. I'm also... I'm sorry, it's the shoes that make me bitch like that. I'm also going to say good night to the live stream, and thank you so much for staying tuned for today. We're going to see you tomorrow, and in German you would say not good night or farewell, but auf Wiedersehen, which is the much nicer term. It means until we meet again. And I know pretty exactly when I want that to be. That is tomorrow at 9:45. So thanks for joining, and see you on the live stream tomorrow.